Dominic, thank you so much for joining us live from Seattle. We want to talk a lot about the NHL as a whole and especially the draft. So let's start with that yesterday. What was that experience like for you to introduce a new team to a new fan base in what looks to be such an incredible city?
Yeah, I'm still on the West Coast, so I'm not up as late as you guys are. But yeah, what a phenomenal event it was. And it was just, Chris and I were blown away by the energy and enthusiasm of the Seattle crowd. And it really did have kind of a college game day feel to it. I mentioned that off the top, and Chris was the host of that show for 25 years. And so it was a thrill to work with him. He was a former neighbor of mine on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. And it was just a great event, having the players there, be in attendance, and just the energy of the birth of a franchise is so special and unique to be a part of. So what a day for Seattle. What a day for Ron Francis, all the ownership group that have worked so hard for so many years now to culminate in this moment where, as Chris said at the top, it finally gets real.
Seattle is a phenomenal sports city. I could, attest to that, being there a couple of times. But, the expansion draft is so exciting. There's incredible names joining the Seattle Kraken. Bronny, if we could pull up these names, Jeremy Lawson, Kyle Fleury, Nathan Bastian, incredible names, especially headlined by Mark Giordano. But they kind of went a little conservative when it came to these contracts, opposed to the Vegas Golden Knights, who just had their expansion draft a few years ago. What are your overall thoughts on how the Seattle Kraken sort of formed their initial roster?
Yeah, it was really interesting because this was, a totally different situation. We saw the teams were not really willing to make a deal with the Kraken, and I think they were far more prepared than they were in 2017. In 2017, there hadn't been an expansion draft since the year 2000, so it was new. The salary cap was new, and George McPhee and the Knights really leveraged that to make some trades, accumulate some draft picks, and it was the whole fool me once thing that the other GMs around the league were really conservative this year. But I think Ron Francis and company really handled it well. They didn't make a splash for a lot of those big names you saw on the board, guys like Carey Price, James Van Riemsdyk, Tarasenko. They steered clear of those guys. A lot of those guys are getting up there in their age, and huge contracts that would really limit the flexibility of the Kraken going forward. So I think Ron and company did a really good job of getting some underrated players from around the league. Guys like Blackwell are a perfect example. He's going to be a loss for the Rangers, but he was so effective, and he'll be effective for the Kraken. And there's a lot of guys around the league that are underrated like that. And so they did that without kind of breaking the bank. And now going forward, the next couple of years, they'll be in a really good position to take advantage of teams in cap trouble and eventually add some things later when it's time to contend.
You just made so many great points. I want to talk about one player, though, that was kind of surprising. Mark Giordano, 15 years with one team. Now, what intangibles and what do you think maybe attracted the Kraken to him?
Yeah, so Giordano, I think for the Kraken, the one thing that they really wanted to get right was the culture out of the gate. You only have one chance to make a first impression on the players, to establish an identity. And I think that's what the Giordano selection was all about. He's 15 years with one team as the captain for a long time. Everyone knows how disciplined he is. Everyone knows how much of a character person he is. Yeah, he's going to be 38 next year, but he keeps himself in really good shape. I think he has a few more years left at least. He's still playing at a high level. So he'll not only be able to be an asset on the ice, but in that locker room, kind of continuing the message from the coaches and establishing that within the locker room, I think is what they were looking for with Mark.